Good evening and welcome to season 2, episode 8 of hashtag What Woke Looks Like the podcast. I am your host, Yolanda, Yo the Spiritualist Hops, and we are in for indeed yet another treat on this evening. Listen, the title of this podcast tonight is Mastering Manifestation. Now, let me tell you why. And then we're going to go to a quick commercial and we'll be right back with our special guest. Manifestation is one of those buzzwords that we hear all the time. It has spanned the globe, different from different disciplines into even different arenas. Sometimes we hear the word spoken in social media. We hear it spoken every now and then in our churches and in our homes, as well as on TV and radio. But how many of us really understand what manifestation is and how we access it and how we properly conduct it? Well, my guest tonight is going to tell us all about it. But first, I have a word from our sponsor, the Female Solution. I'll be right back.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
And we're back. Let's see, we have Higher Learning TV show, none other than the lady herself, Miss Zelda, coming in to stop by and say hello. Hey, Zelda, how are you this evening? Thank you for stopping in. We are so glad to have you. Y'all are in for a treat. I am super excited because let me tell y'all something. I have been trying to master the art of communication, not only communication, but manifestation for quite some time. So I believe manifestation to be none other than communication with the universe, communication with our higher power. It's really akin to prayer in my mind, but it goes a step further. The young lady who I have here tonight to tell us about that is none other than the manifestation guru herself, Nakia Nikki Alexander. And I'm going to tell you just a little bit about her because y'all have just got to stay tuned to find out more. Tonight's special guest is a mindset and frequency shaman with over 20 years of experience in studying the mind and how it works. Nakia empowers parents to break generational cycles, nurture emotional resilience, and raise confident, connected children. She blends emotional intelligence, trauma-informed coaching, and science-backed frequency technology to help families heal and thrive. Her mission is centered around things like reclaiming emotional balance, breaking free from limiting cycles, creating an empowered life environment, and transforming reactivity into alignment. Please join me in welcoming none other than the manifestation guru herself, Nakia Nikki Alexander, to the stage. Welcome me.
How are you?
I am on cloud 30.
I'm up there with you. Okay.
I am on cloud 30. I am so excited to be here. I think we have got another comment coming in already, getting a lot of comments coming in tonight early on. Fruit Soul Lover is saying, hey, beautiful. Well, hey, Fruit Soul Lover with your beautiful self. How you doing?
Beautiful. We love you.
Yes, we are so glad to have you in with us tonight. Listen, I have been talking about you for quite some time now, and I know your ears probably been burning. And you've been saying, who is that talking about me? Somebody is out there talking about me.
Okay, it must be yo.
It's me, girl. It's been me. Because, like I said earlier, I have been trying to master the art of manifestation for years. I kid you not.
Yeah.
And I believe you and I met, we met via TikTok when I believe you were just starting out and I was just starting out. And that's been a couple of years ago now, because when I went back to look at some of the first messages that we sent each other, we're talking like 2022, 2023, something like that.
Yes. Yes.
And it has taken us this long, oh my God, to reconnect. Can you believe that?
I can't. It cannot. That was a long time. That was a long time ago.
Hi, yay, yay. Welcome in this evening. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad to see you. Thank you for joining us. All right, so the energy is already high.
We're
And it's
manifesting that. That's what we're here doing. Yes.
well, see, it's already working. See, that's what I kind of always sense, that if I just had a manifestation guru nearby.
Yeah. Just being in the vicinity, right?
Just in the vicinity, just the energy in and of itself would get me where I needed to be, and it's already working. See how that goes. See,
Well,
before
that's the
you
secret.
listen, that is definitely the secret.
That's
It's the
the
secret.
secret.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I hope all is well with you on this evening. I thank you for coming by to spend a little bit of time with us, and for bringing your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding surrounding mindset and frequency manifestations to light.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit, and tell us a little bit about how you got started on this journey. I have to know, was it a thing where you just kind of started the process of manifesting things in your own life, or was there a journey that went deeper than that?
Absolutely a journey that went deeper than that. But
Yeah,
before I say that or get into that, I just want to thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor to be here with you.
my pleasure.
I'm
My
very
pleasure.
grateful. Thank you so, so much. So yeah, I mean, I think like everybody's journey, it sort of starts with your own issues, right? And I'm so
Mm,
grateful that Divine sent me through the journey that I've gone through specifically, which was starting with my mind, mastering my mind. It started with
mm,
my heavy anxiety. So in college, I went to a psychiatrist. I'm like, listen up, girl, I need your help. I can't
mhm.
control my thoughts. And so she wanted to put me on medication, which is fine for some people, but I sort of knew that I needed a way to figure this out on my own.
Okay.
I felt like this is my mind. I should be able to
You should
control
be
it.
able to figure this out. Right, right, right. Yeah.
So I went on that journey. It took me about 6 years to really grasp hold of my thoughts, meaning I can
Hmm.
control them. They're not controlling me, etc. Right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so around that time, around 6 years from then, I discovered the book, The Secret. And that book changed my life. You've heard of it?
Of course. I own it.
Well, you know what's kind of crazy is everyone's like, what books have you read? What books would you recommend? What
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
only read The Secret about this stuff. I've only read The Secret. But I'm the type of person who will read a book over and over and over again. So although I've only read the book The Secret, I've read it
Mhm.
50 times. You know. So
Ah,
and each time I got something new out of it. It's kind of
mhm.
crazy. I was seeing things that I didn't actually see there before, which was kind of
Yeah.
odd to me. But
Okay.
knowing how manifestation works, you won't have the eyes to see certain things until you're ready for it. So it
Mm.
started with The Secret. It's a very surface level, like law of attraction book. It's not really
Yes.
too
True.
deep. It gets to the point. And
Hmm.
so, but just knowing that empowered me so much that it was a snowball effect. I had to know more. Like, you
Yeah.
can't tell me there's a way to impact this game here And,
Yes.
I don't know all of the rules. Oh no, I need to know. So it
Yeah.
just was this thirst for information, this hunger for information, and I still have it. I still,
I love that. I love that. And as a result, Nikki, you have taken this information and you have turned it into what I would consider a very successful business
yeah,
venture,
yeah,
as a mindset and frequency shaman,
yeah,
and consultant.
yeah,
And your following has just grown by leaps and bounds over the last several years. How has that success felt for you? Just knowing that you were able to take something that was so personal and turn it into, gosh, a career.
yeah, absolutely a career, completely supplemented my previous income as a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
absolutely in this fully. And it feels great, but I've been using manifestation. It's like I use what I teach in
Yeah.
every aspect of my life.
Right.
So I know that these things are, I know that I'm working towards these. I know that it's possible. I know that it's going to happen, type of thing. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just choosing what it is that I want here in the universe. And then I
Mhm.
am just embodying that person that has it. And so that's what helps me attract these things. Like making this into a job, making this, this my passion. I mean, when I jumped into
Yes.
TikTok 3 years ago, I mean, you were seeing manifestation coach here or whatever, you'll see that, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't really I didn't see an example. Doesn't mean it wasn't out there. I'm
Right.
sure,
Right. Right. Of
but
course. Of
I
course.
didn't have an example of someone saying, "Hey, okay, if you want to teach manifestation, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to do it," and all of that. So that's the part that I had to figure out, and that has been very fun and challenging, and
Yeah. Yeah.
all of the things that comes along with starting a business. But
Yes.
I do intentionally move throughout this.
Okay.
So I'm not
Gotcha.
too surprised by the things that's happening. I'm more surprised by how they play out.
Ah, I got you. Okay. It's not that they're happening, it's the way that they happen.
Yes.
Okay, that
Yes.
makes sense. I can dig it. Okay. I see that.
Yeah.
So would you say that the journey then has been something that you feel as if you were called to all along, and then but you just kind of took a roundabout way in getting to it, because I heard you say earlier that you were a realtor, correct?
Yes.
So you were never any kind of consultant or therapist or coach or
Yeah.
anything like that.
So, I mean, probably you recognize this too as
Yeah.
a child or growing up. You know that there's something missing. You know that
Yes.
you're not quite where you're supposed to be. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
So, in each of my jobs, I knew I wasn't quite supposed to be there. But
Mm.
when I started discovering manifestation and my relationship with divine got stronger, this
Yes.
was in my like 20s up into like early, like mid 20s on up.
Hmm.
My relationship with divine got stronger.
Uh-huh.
My communication with divine got stronger. So
Yes.
I started leaning on divine for my purpose. But
Yeah.
all along, I've known that something just wasn't right, and you get the people that come to you and ask for your help. I've always had that. All,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. The
But
total strangers that just come up to you
exactly,
and tell you all about these things, and you're like, oh, okay, well, all right,
exactly.
let's see how I can help. But
Yeah.
again, they're not necessarily asking about. Listen, I saw this house over on Smith Avenue, and
Yes,
which I'm
exactly.
sure they were coming about that too, but it was more than that, right?
Yeah. And so once I started discovering manifestation, I couldn't shut up about it. It's like I still can't shut up. So it's something that it just comes out of me. I'm naturally talking about it.
Yes,
And I think
yes.
because of that, that has naturally allowed for me to attract this
Mm,
reality that I'm in now because
I
I was
love that.
embodying it, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I love that. I'm gonna take, I think we have another comment coming in. Ah, Empress Queen 229 is coming in to say good evening. Good evening, love. Welcome, welcome, beautiful. We are so glad to have you here with us tonight. Yes.
Absolutely.
So now help me out with this.
Sure.
So you get a phone call.
Yes.
Somebody calls.
Yes.
I've been trying to manifest
Yes.
$100,000.
Right. How do I do?
Nikki, I need your help.
Yes.
What would be the first thing you would say to that individual?
Anytime you want to shift your 3D, I'm going to talk fast because we're limited on time, but I want
Mhm,
people to get this information.
mhm,
Anytime you
mhm,
want to shift your 3D experience, you must
mhm.
become the individual that has it first because
Ah,
we're playing a vibrational game. So it's always going to be identity shift. Who do I need to shift into? Identity shift, identity shift. Because when you
yes.
shift your identity, the 3D moves. So you don't want to focus on the bag of money. You want to focus on being that financially stable person. So what is that person doing on an everyday basis? How does that person feel? What are their habits? What are their routines? How, what are they doing that's different from me? Because all of it is vibration. All of it is information that you are sending out to the universe and
Mhm,
saying, this is who
mhm.
I am. This is who I am every single day. This is who I am. So when you
Yes,
say this is who I am, the 3D is a reflection of that person.
of that
So
part.
be
Okay.
that person first.
Yes,
That's the
yes.
easiest way.
I love that. So, and essentially, what you're telling them is there's no fast, easy trick to that. You have to first become it before you can attract it. Is that
This
what I'm
isn't
hearing
a
you
time
say?
game. This
Mm-hmm.
isn't a time
Mm-hmm.
game we're playing. So I
Mm-hmm.
can't
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, it's going to take you 5 years or 2 years or 10 years. It's not that type of game. We see that some people can make $100,000 in 2 months or a month or a day or an hour. So it's
Yes.
not a time game. So when
Right.
I say you must become, you
Mm-hmm.
must embody. It's a vibrational game.
Yes.
So meaning everything is a vibration. Your thoughts are a
Mm-hmm.
vibration, your identity is a vibration, your emotions are a vibration. And
Yes.
so if your vibrations are not in divine alignment with the person who has that which you desire, you won't see
Mm-hmm.
that reality. Meaning you got to become the wife first
Woo.
vibrationally. Then the husband shows up. You don't
Yes.
call yourself the wife after the husband shows up. He can only show once you vibrationally be. Does that make sense?
So good. Girl, you know it's making perfect sense to me. I
Good.
hope it's making sense to our listeners
Yeah.
out there.
All
I
right.
think we have yet another comment coming in. All
Awesome.
right, Stacy Cook 3662 is coming in
I
to
love
say,
you
"Hey
so much.
Nikki, welcome in, Stacy. We're so glad to have you in this evening, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and share the podcast. Hashtag what woke looks like. You can go right there to https://www.youtube.com /WWLL slash or dash 777. And also I have Holly Ark 77. Oh, honey, Holly knows about those sevens. Hey, Holly, she's
Right.
sending some hearts. She knows about those sevens, girl. We love those sevens. Welcome in, Holly. So here's what I'm hearing you say. And I'm just curious, do you get phone calls like that sometimes?
Absolutely. All the time.
I just knew
All
this. I knew this. I knew this. And let me say this. This is how I know it. Because you and I, even though I am not a mindset frequency
the time.
shaman, I am a spiritualist. And
Yes.
so I do readings, I do birth chart readings and human design readings and oracle reads. I do all of those things. So we are in the business of helping people achieve certain goals in their lives. Yes. We're,
Yes.
we're in what somewhat of a helping profession, if you will.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I get these calls from clients all the time, God bless them. you know, wanting the quick fix, but not understanding there's a method to the madness. Something else that I also tell people is that just like frequencies and mindsets, it's the same with anything else. There's always a shift that can occur at any time. And so, just because of what's happening today, the energy that's surrounding us today, and that's what you're seeing when I'm working with you today in this present space, this is what is happening. But tomorrow, it could be something totally different.
Right.
And so it's trying to get people to, actually understand that manifestation goes beyond, it's not a one-off type deal. Like you said, they have to become.
And be and hold. See, like you just said, from day to day, things can shift.
They
And
can't.
that's where people will fall off, because you got to hold the frequency in order for the 3D to start moving around for you. The 3D doesn't just move and change for us just because we change our mind every 5 minutes. But it will move for us if we hold the vibration. You understand?
And that's where it gets tricky.
That's where it gets hard, it gets tricky, confusing, because people are looking at this 3D and reacting. The 3D is a gauge for us. It's a gauge because remember, everything is a reflection. So I don't look at the 3D and be like, oh, this is, da, 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 da. No, I say, dang, okay, this is what I need to go within and tweak. Oh, I need to go and tweak this. This person said this to me. I need to work on my self-love. I need to work on my confidence here. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get this. Oh, I need to work on this. It's something, I don't see this in my reality. It's something within I need to tweak. For instance, if you want more money, you don't go out and work tons and tons more hours. Tweak something about yourself vibrationally that will shift your 3D. And that's how you do this effortlessly. And that's how you do it so that it sticks. It stays.
So it's about the stick-to-itiveness then, if you will, because otherwise it's fleeting. It comes and goes. Yes.
I call it quantum surfing. You're bouncing around from realm to realm. One day you're abundant. You feel great. You're on top of the world. The next day, the next week, you're feeling broke again. I need to go make this. I need to go make this money. That's the quantum surfing. You quantum surfed into one room. You felt abundant for a temporary time, but then you reverted back to who you are truly. And so that is quantum surfing. You don't want to do that. You need to hold the vibration. And when you hold it of that desired identity, then things become permanent. They start to move for you.
I understand. That makes perfect sense. So tell me this.
Yes.
Now, when I met you, okay, you were calling yourself the hippie Nikki.
I still do.
And you still, okay. You know what? I've been wanting to ask you that. And I was like, I'm just going to wait and ask her during the show. Yeah. You were calling yourself the hippie Nikki. Yes. And so I'm just curious to know, because there was evidently a shift that occurred. Yes. That caused you to kind of more embody. Still the hippie Nikki.
So I've always been all my life, my mom was like, where did you come from? Who kid are you supposed to be? Like, I've always been this hippie. That's just always.
Okay, always been.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just a thing. Yeah.
Okay. But that didn't quite embody your purpose. So is that kind of why you kind of shifted into being?
I honestly didn't know that I was going to go this far with the TikTok initially. When I started on TikTok, I didn't really want to even get on there. I'm very private. I'm like, Divine, I don't even want to get on. Divine's like, get on there. I'm like, no, I want to do it. But I just kept the name because it was catchy for people.
Yeah,
they remembered it. The hippie Nikki.
Yeah,
that's it. But I get asked about these identities. We were talking about this in my community, Woman Fest, and how I was explaining how I take on different identities for different, I'm sure you do too. You're a teacher. You do this. We have many hats, but to me, there's many identities. things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
who I am
Mm-hmm.
with my mama and my papa is completely different from
Different.
people that, what people see with
Of
the
course.
mindset shaman, or my
Yeah.
husband there. When I'm there with him, I'm completely different than when I am with my baby, or
Yeah.
so the hippie, the Nikki is my nickname. Nakia is my government name.
Yes.
Those are parts of me that will just always be there, I feel.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. My mother used to say that to me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'd be like, I just don't know. She was like, you're kind of a cross between a gypsy and she said, my mother literally would say that. She was like, you just give this gypsy vibe,
Right.
because it was always hard for me to kind of like stay put or sit still.
You were
And
a
I was
little nomad, huh?
always kind of exploring a lot of different things. And
Yeah.
even if I wasn't physically mobile like that,
Yes.
I was still mentally always on an adventure,
Oh my
which
God.
I later discovered had a lot to do with the fact that I have a Sagittarius stellium.
Oh wow.
So, like in astrology, we always start with, our sun sign. Everybody goes, I'm an Aquarius or I'm a Capricorn, whatever the case may be. But then as I began to study, I realized I was so much more than that.
Oh.
And then I started understanding what stelliums were when you have more than one planet in a house or sign.
Oh.
And that energy can actually take precedence over your sun, moon, or your rising sign. So because I could never understand why I had like this insatiable wanderlust.
Right.
And it's attributed to that because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. And that is why, and because Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system,
Yeah.
and it governs things like adventure, exploration, philosophy. So I've always got a philosophy about something.
Oh my
I
God.
always want to be on an adventure, and it doesn't have to be physical. It can be a mental or emotional adventure. That works for me. But
Yeah.
my Sagittarius stellium takes over every now and then my other major placements.
And isn't that beautiful to know that uh, everything is just so coordinated and magically working together, that you were perfectly born under that alignment so that
Yes,
you can move around mentally, physically, so that you can help the people that you need, because we need to see and experience and hear and feel different things.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
that's how deep and magical this world is. Like beautiful.
It
That
is.
you
It's
know
a
what I mean?
beautiful thing.
For
It's a
you to
beautiful
have that
thing.
in your placement, to allow for you to naturally have that in your heart, to want to move about this
Mhm,
earth so that you can
mhm.
see and learn what you needed in order to help. What a blessing. I love
It is an extreme blessing. And it just, when you started talking about that, it just immediately resonated with me. I want to take a few more comments before we move on any further. But also, I want you guys to know that you can find the hippie Nikki over on YouTube and TikTok. Okay, you can also email her at info@nakiaalexander.com. Her website is www.nakiaalexander.com. So if you would like to work with Nikki, find out more about Nikki, or even just follow Nikki, that is how you can do so. Now, let's see, who do we have? We have Yay. Oh, Yatunde 6681 talking about that quantum surfing. It must have really resonated. Empress Queen 229 is saying that she loves every bit of it, honey. She is just here for all the things, as well as the fact that, yes, she has a Scorpio
Oh,
stellium. So, yes,
oh,
yes, you
I need to find
understand.
out. I'm gonna need you to read me, girl. I need to find.
Girl, I got you, girl. All you got to, and I really feel okay. And Yeye Otunde was saying,
Oh, okay. My lady showing up. Hi, y'all.
Darwill, hey Darwill, welcome, welcome, welcome to the space. But it is so important though for us to just do that deep dive, to do
Yes,
the work
yes,
associated with understanding the self
yeah,
and how we can better access all
exactly,
of the little pieces of ourselves.
exactly.
Manifestation is a key part of that. Mindset, frequency is something that affects us all. We all have a different frequency or vibration that we dial into at different times of our lives. These things are crucial. More comments. Rich Life says it's so good to see you. And it's good to have you here. Higher Learning TV show says enjoying. She's enjoying. We're enjoying having you here with us. Definitely. So just to kind of do a quick recap before we're gonna take just a quick intermission, but what I wanted to just kind of highlight was the fact that the work that you do is so important because of the fact that people are out here trying to figure out all of the things, how to tap in, how to access, there's always so much more that we're curious about and that we are trying to understand about ourselves. And I feel as if understanding our mindset, understanding how much it affects us and how that frequency affects our every move, I feel like it's just the chef's kiss, you know?
Absolutely. How
It's,
blessed we are. I mean, that's what keeps me going every single day, to know that I can help empower people. We do not have to be victims. And I love
you
this. I
don't.
just love being able to share this work.
And I'm so glad that you're sharing it with us tonight. I've got one more comment before we go to break. Oh, hey, Loso, how are you? That is one of my, I call it one of my internet nieces from TikTok and stopped by to see me tonight. So
Oh, how
awesome to have you in the
sweet.
space. Thank you for coming in, Loso, to show that support. All right, so we're going to pause for just a brief intermission, and we will be right back with Nikki Alexander, the Mindset and Frequency Shaman. Guys, stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, and if you're watching this, that means you're one of the 4.6 billion people from around the world who are using an electronic device to talk to people. In these times, people are using the internet to talk to everybody: friends, neighbors, family members, co workers. People are on their cell phones and computers all day long. Now, if you're in business, that is great news. That means you can sell your products and services all day long and never have to leave your home. All you need is a media connection, somebody to connect you to an audience. And that's why I'm talking to you today. We produce programs, and our audience members are people who shop. They buy clothes, food, beauty supplies, cleaning supplies, home repair, transportation services, child care services. Whatever you're selling, they need to buy it. We're your media connection. Just follow this link, and tomorrow you can sit back and relax at home while your business is making you money.
And we're back. All right, then. So I wanted to bring up something that I found on your page.
Mhm.
I thought that this was, fascinating in and of itself. And I'm going to add it here. And it says, welcome to your divine return. And you were just talking about connecting to the divine before we went on the break. Tell us a little bit about what the divine return is. I don't want to just sit here and read it. I want you to tell us in your own words.
Sure. Again, a lot of people are brainwashed to believe that they have to be a victim to their current reality, their current circumstance. So, what I teach are three ascension keys. The foundation of that is mind mastery. Okay. And through working through these keys, you can see a new person is born, a new mind is developed, and therefore a new identity emerges. So the divine return is about coming back to self, remembering self, coming back to who you are, and understanding your power.
Oh, I love that. I just love that. That is so amazing because, and here's something that I find, well, let me say, I have found myself. being guilty of. And let me, yeah, I want to make sure I clarify that. Couple of things. The overthinking.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, honey, I could write you a book about the overthinking.
Sure.
Also, self sabotage
Sure.
has been a huge piece. How do you help people move beyond those types of because here's also what I found, Nikki,
Yes.
from an astrological standpoint,
Sure.
because that's my bag, right?
Yep.
You can see it in a birth chart.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at someone's placements, and
Right.
if you know enough about, for example, astrology and things like that,
Right.
you can look and see who the overthinkers are based on their placements.
Yeah.
I would bet you dimes to dozens that this person has had an issue with overthinking or self sabotage.
Okay.
But you don't even, that's nothing to do with what you do. So that's why I'm curious to know, how do you tackle that? I know how I tackle it
Sure.
from that lens, through
Mhm.
that lens.
Sure.
How do you begin to get people to move beyond the overthinking, move beyond the self sabotaging thoughts that can have a tendency to absolutely cripple an individual?
Yeah. Well, the thing that keeps me in check, one thing and one thing only,
Mhm, mhm,
knowing
mhm.
that my thoughts create the reality I experience.
Ah,
So it's like, what? Oh, it's my thoughts. Oh, I'm going to keep them in check. That
yes,
keeps me in check. Now,
yes,
it
yes.
doesn't keep someone, it does if somebody doesn't want to try
Hmm.
to keep control of their thoughts after knowing that information, then okay, I can't help you, right? But
Right,
that
right.
little piece of information should make you want to put in a little bit of effort.
Yeah,
Until the day that we croak, we shall be putting in mind master. We should be focused on mind mastery, mastering self. That's what we're here for, right?
yes,
The
yes.
moment we can start controlling the thoughts, we
Hmm.
control everything else. I can't even teach someone manifestation. I could, but what's the point? Because they're going to keep themselves in a loop, a mental
Yep,
loop. So
definitely.
it's about allowing yourself to be present and
Yes,
aware of what's going on. If I were
yes,
just starting out working with someone, I'd say, okay, you're going to set an alarm for yourself 3 times a day, four
yes.
times a day, so that you can start checking in. Every time that phone goes off, you need to ask yourself, what am I thinking about? Just to
Hmm.
start getting in the habit. A lot of people will just go about their day and they've thought about something for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and the clock is ticking. While you're daydreaming, you're creating. While
Mm.
we're creating. So
Yes,
we really have to be conscious of that, those thoughts, where we're directing our attention. Because if we are looking this way, but our mind, our thoughts are on the past, we will stay in this loop. We will
yes,
continue to live just like this. So
yes.
our focus allows for us to move forward. So we need to be focused on what it is that we want. All right. So
Mm.
being aware, being present, you know,
Hmm.
being conscious of, hey, wow, I'm sitting here and I'm at my desk and all of a sudden I start crying. Why am I crying? We got to be conscious of our emotions. Our emotions are letting us know something. Your emotions are saying, hey, they're like a gauge too. They're telling you to ask yourself what you're thinking about. So the moment you start crying or you're getting flustered, ask yourself, what am I thinking about? That's being conscious, right? And so
Hmm.
then you can stop the negative thought. You have to stop the negative thoughts. You
Yes.
have to, in those moments, take control. Once you stop the thought,
Mhm.
I want you to bring your awareness back to the present. Ask yourself questions that will allow you to check back in with the present. What is that I see? What is that I hear? What is that
Yes.
I smell?
Yes.
Then I want you to breathe, do some breathing, and then do an affirmation, do some breath work, do something that'll override that. So you get in a habit of just sort of like stopping the thoughts and controlling it and putting it away and doing and implanting the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions that you want at that time.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. I can remember going back to The Secret again. You
Yeah.
know, that book,
Yeah.
which I want to say the first time I read it
Yeah.
was over 2, 3 decades ago.
Yeah.
My uncle, who has now transitioned,
Mhm.
Dr. Osafiel Anderson, introduced me to that book.
Wow.
He was a college professor at Florida A&M University.
Mm.
He was a published author of over 30 some odd books himself, a mathematician, but I like to say a great philosopher. You
Yeah.
know, he was
All
not
of
a
that. All
philosophy
of that.
was not a philosophy professor, but could have easily been,
Yeah.
because this man had mastered the art of manifestation. And he was the first person to teach me about it.
Wow.
He
What did
was
he
the
say? I want to know what he said.
well, his thing essentially was that thoughts become things.
Yeah.
Thoughts become things.
Yeah.
So he owned no shortage of businesses. Not only was he a professor, but he owned a nightclub, and he was a partner with a funeral home. He was a motivational speaker. He wrote over 30 books. I mean, he did all of these amazing things, and he said he just manifested them into being.
Yes. That's how it is. Love it.
But it was one of those things that I remember trying to wrap my head around, and it was, I think, a little harder for me because of the way I was raised. So he didn't raise me, but he was definitely an integral part of my life, and I just remember him introducing that mindset set shift to me, and saying, talking about, from a biblical standpoint, even writing the vision and making it plain, which came from the book of Habakkuk, and just saying, you got to write it down, you got to see it, you got to visualize it, you got to become it. Those were the things that he would tell me. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to give it a try, and it wasn't easy. That overthinking, like, oh, this is too hard. I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but I never stopped trying. That was the thing. Sometimes all it takes is for the seed to be planted.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Sometimes that's all it takes is for that seed to be planted, and everything else just takes off from there. Loso was talking about how powerful the messages are coming through
Yeah.
in here
I love
tonight. And I mean, Nikki, you are just dropping some serious gems up in here, my sister. I'm talking about just we clocking all the tea, okay?
that. So, yes. I love hearing from you. I love learning from you as well. Awesome.
Um, I think that, just and again, paying homage to him, and just the fact that he was able to move beyond, we just country folks down here, in the South, and we raised up in the Bible Belt, and so literally and figuratively the Bible Belt, okay? And
Yeah.
manifestation is something you don't hear about, or we didn't hear about it back then, not in our churches. But I'm beginning to notice a shift,
Really?
even in more religious sectors. The word manifestation is coming up a lot more. I don't know if you have clocked that T or not, but it's happening.
I have not.
Okay, well, I'm here to tell you, honey, manifestation, it has become a buzzword in many sectors. Definitely. It definitely has. And so I just think
I
that the
hope
work,
a positive one.
what was that, sis?
A positive buzzword because they
Oh,
should
yes.
come
Yes,
for
yes,
me.
yes. Now,
They come
now,
for me in my lives.
well, now, listen.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I'm like, what? I'm talking about the mind. What are you doing here?
You, you're always going to have naysayers.
I know. Absolutely. I just wonder what about talking about the mind? That stirs some religious people wrong. I do not know, but I'm glad that manifestation is becoming a positive buzzword. I love it.
In some sectors, in some churches, yes. In others,
You
not
got to
so
slow
much.
your roll now.
No, they still holding on to that old
Sure.
mentality. Darwell is saying prosperity churches. Yes, the
Yes.
prosperity churches are kind of leaning in that direction
Yeah.
somewhat. You're exactly right. Thank you for that comment. But I'm loving the fact that it is beginning to take a turn. And that people are seeing the power associated with it, which makes the work that you're doing that much more meaningful. So please, please, please,
That makes
please,
me.
ma'am, do not stop
I'm
what
not.
you are doing. You got to keep going because we need you and we need the message and we need to understand how powerful it is. Again, going back to my uncle, he was raised in the small town of Pineview, Georgia. There probably wasn't even a traffic light.
Right. And see,
Okay.
that's the power. That's exactly what I mean. The power of manifestation. It don't matter where he could have came from, up under a rock.
Does not matter.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's the power. You can
The
feel
power.
so
You
empowered
can.
when
You
you
can.
learn this information. I
Yes.
love that. I love that.
Definitely.
That's
Definitely.
why I teach this stuff, because we
That
all
that
deserve.
is why, and that is why we need you desperately to continue teaching. We do. I wanted to also bring up something else. Oh, here's another comment that I want to show as well. Okay, Loso is saying, "Honey, please keep going. We need you, girl. We know we need you." I also, as I was digging through your website, which is something that I like to do, I also noticed something else.
Yes. Yeah, my Ascension Keys roadmap.
Now you know this is my type of carrying on right here, sis. Because see, see, now see, as an educator,
Yes.
okay, you know we love a visual aid.
Yes.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
this is for those of us who not only need to read about it, but we need to see it in action. Talk to me a little bit about how you developed this. Please tell
Yes.
us. We have to know.
Yes. And so again, I think it all comes through my own journey, learning,
Mm,
having to deal with, not being able to control my own thoughts, understanding how important that is to moving intentionally and
yes,
manifesting here. It's
yes,
important to your healing. You
yes.
got to be willing to and open to healing. Otherwise, you're going to be continue to stay in that victim mode, that victim mentality.
Mhm, mhm.
So these, again, because I've been working on myself for 22 plus years and learning about manifestation for 17 plus years, these I'm bringing to the surface things that I feel I needed to hear when I was initially learning how to intentionally move. Everything that I feel like I teach are the things that I feel we all need and would make
Mm,
the transformation for us easier. So when you are open to healing, you need to be open to healing. How
yes,
else are you going to evolve, right? You
yes,
need
yes,
to be
yes,
open to mind mastery. How else are you going to start learning to master self? You need to be open to intentional movement, or else you're just going to be lollygagging here. So these
yes.
are all of the things that are important to our journey here.
Yes, 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 yes. I mean, honey, I love every bit of this. This is, girl, this is like Maxwell House. It's good to the last drop. I just told my age, didn't I? Um,
I love it.
listen, intentional manifestation,
Yes.
frequency matching, quantum alignment.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that. That is something that I just kind of honed in on that, and
Yeah.
I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
Sure. That's all that I talk about, which is this is a frequency game.
Mhm,
So we're manifesting, think about it. We're manifesting 24/7. So I didn't just say manifestation. I said
mhm.
intentional manifestation, which
Mm,
means that you have to be intentionally embodying this vibration, these vibrations to achieve what it is that you want.
Yes.
Your 3D is always going to be a reflection. So right now, my house is a reflection of my vibration, who I am being. My
Yes.
relationship is a reflection of who I am being. So
Yes.
when I say frequency matching, I'm literally
Mhm.
saying that alignment is necessary for
Yes.
intentional movement.
Mhm.
How you desire.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's what I'm
Okay.
explaining there.
I love that. I love every bit of that. And then you go on to embodied ascension, when
Yes,
you establish those ongoing high frequency
yes,
habits.
yes,
I love this. And we got some comments coming in. Empress Queen 229 is saying how amazing this roadmap is. It is. This is an awesome tool. And then Darwell is saying this is awesome and it works. So this is a live testimonial coming in here. She's saying she's tried it and she knows it to be true.
yes.
Wow. How many of your clients have just touted their success surrounding this particular Ascension Keys roadmap?
Yeah,
To that. How many of them?
yeah, tons. Since I've
Yeah.
been teaching, I mean, I've always been teaching these things. I didn't necessarily have them in any particular order. That's sort of evolved um,
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
I've grown.
Okay.
But people like Darwell, she's in my community, the Woman Fest Frequency Portal, and again, there are plenty others like her who I've curated frequencies for to help with maintaining that alignment. And
Oh,
she's someone who got very fast results,
wow.
when people are ready, when they're ready for
Mm-hmm.
things, tools show up for us, resources show up for us. And
Yes.
so when people align with me, they're typically ready for the information. Now whether they jump or not, that's up to them, but
Mm-hmm.
you're typically ready for the information when it approaches you. And so it has helped a ton of people, and I'm so blessed, so blessed and grateful for that.
Definitely. We are blessed to have you in our space. Oh, we've got some more comments coming in. Hang on here, sis. Oh, Darwell is saying, honey, the bioscan changed her life. Okay. Now you gotta tell us about the bioscan in just a second. I'm gonna take one more comment and then I'm gonna let you talk about bioscan, if you don't mind telling us about that. We also have Stacy Cook saying, I'm one of her clients and it's amazing and it really, really does work.
Yes.
Thank y'all for sharing that. It is so crucial that we hear those live testimonials coming in. Because for a lot of us, seeing is believing. Now we got to hear now. Is this gonna work? Because I hear you saying it's gonna work, but I want to hear I love a live testimonial now.
Absolutely. Don't we all?
So tell us about bioscans
Yeah.
since that was brought up. Since Ms. Darwell brought that up, I love
Sure.
to hear about it.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, ladies. Since we're playing a frequency game,
Yes.
it only makes sense that we utilize curated frequencies if we're out
Mm-hmm.
of alignment. That's
Mm-hmm.
my way of thinking, right? But there are
Yes.
different ways to align yourself if you're out of alignment. So I've been studying frequency for about 17 years. I was downloading frequencies off of LimeWire. I listened to frequencies on YouTube. People do. But those are general frequencies. So what I
Mm-hmm.
do is I scan my clients. I use biofeedback technology. They can be anywhere in the world. And it's going to tell me what traumas are still sitting in your field, what limiting beliefs are still sitting in your field, how the condition of your chakras, the condition of your meridians. And then that technology curates personalized frequencies for your body. So it's going to plug your trauma. It's going to plug
Ah,
all of those issues, those distortions in your field. So now you can be in alignment. You can be a vibrational match to the things that you truly desire. And so when we listen to the frequencies continuously, the 3D starts
yes.
to shift. And so we have clients like Stacy and Darwell that are in here now. They take advantage. It's not going to work if you don't work it. I can give
Mm-hmm.
you the frequencies, but if you don't push play every single day, you're not going to get that alignment and that healing and all that you need. So it's
Yes.
really them. doing the work,
Yeah,
right?
they're doing the work. Yes.
Work. They're embodying their new identity every single day, and they press play with those
Mm-hmm.
curated frequencies. It knows exactly what your body requires. That's why it helps with rapid shifts as
Yes.
opposed to general frequencies on YouTube. So, because I've been doing this work for a long time, I like rapid resources for my clients, and bioscans and curated
Love
frequencies
that.
are one of
I
them.
love that. Oh my God, that sounds amazing, girl. I got to get my hands on that.
Yes.
Um, so 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 what this reminds me of now, I know it's not the same thing, but it reminds me of something my naturopathic doctor used to do for me, which was a Zyto scan, I think.
Okay.
Where I would put my hand on this contraption
Oh wow.
and it would read. I don't know if they were meridians. I don't know what you would call them. I'm not sure of the proper technical terms,
Yeah.
but it would give a scan of everything that was going on in my body
Oh
from a
wow.
physical standpoint now, because she was a naturopathic doctor. So it wasn't more of like I guess, a frequency or spiritual type deal like the bioscan. This was strictly for the physical body.
Yeah. So what did it detect? Like what when you say it's for the physical body, what did it detect?
So it might detect something like something going on with my adrenal glands.
Yeah. So this does the same thing.
Think
So it's
okay, so it is kind of like that.
oh,
Okay.
it goes deep. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm not in the health field, I don't really go into all of that. But
Yeah,
yes,
that's not your right. That's not your segment.
correct.
That's not what you
But
do.
when
You're
they get
looking
the
at the
report, they'll
frequency.
see it. They'll see it on there. It'll
Right.
show, hey, you have an imbalance here. You may want to watch out for that. You may want to
Exactly.
look out for your, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's very similar.
Yeah.
I'm
So did
telling
it have a
you.
way to correct? Oh, well, she was natural. That was, yeah. But did it have a way to correct? Because
So
that was
what she would
her.
do as a naturopathic doctor, of course, she would prescribe
Right.
herbs. Everything was natural,
Exactly.
all natural. It was herbal.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got another comment coming in here. Dr. Naima. I'm sorry, let me get my words out tonight. Naima Latif is saying, thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for stopping by. Naima is at the helm of the Female Solutions. So we
Oh,
always appreciate her stopping
yeah.
by to
Thank you
see
so
us.
much. Yeah.
So yeah, so it does sound a lot like that. And I can tell you from a personal standpoint with regards to the physical,
How
it
accurate.
is amazing.
I know.
It is amazing. But I don't recall the chakra piece. I don't recall that being a part of it. So I'm definitely interested in obtaining a bioscan
Yeah.
because I would like to, with me being a
Come on,
spiritual.
honey. You do a
Oh,
read on me where I'm gonna give you a scan. We're gonna work it out.
well, you know how we do. Well, you know how we do. We're living in the age of Aquarius now, so we got to do some, we're going to do some unique bartering type things here. But definitely, I know it's priceless. I already know that.
It is.
Um,
Absolutely.
so how could people schedule? I've got your ticker running across here where we've got all of your platforms, YouTube, TikTok, your email address, as well as the website. Would they go to the website to actually book a bioscan?
Yes, yes. You can go to the website. There's a tab at the top. Click those three lines. You click on students, and it'll take you right there. Everything is there. All of my contact information. Everything's perfect.
Y'all go over there and book that bioscan. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. It definitely is something that was a game changer for me. I don't live in the city where my naturopathic doctor resides anymore, but I've been saying like for the last couple of months, oh, I really need to get up there and see Serena because I just felt like I love that holistic, natural type wellness campaign. And I just feel like where things are headed right now in our society, we all need to be tapping into some of these types of services.
Oh yes.
You
Absolutely.
mentioned something earlier that I want you to go back and highlight. You were talking about your group.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. I think it's called, is it Woman Fest, or did I have that right?
Yes. So like Manifest, it's Woman Fest.
I
All
love
are welcome.
that.
Thank you. We're located on the school platform. So,
Okay.
yes, but Woman Fest is a portal. So you come in and you learn about identity shifting, aligning with your purpose, quantum surfing, quantum jumping. You learn about manifestation, healing, mind mastery, all of those things. So, and we have monthly classes, monthly workshops. Sometimes we have guest speakers. We have Reiki masters, authors, feng shui teachers, all different types of teachers. And so it's a beautiful community, supportive community.
It sounds like it. It definitely sounds like it. So they can also just go to your website and then
Yeah.
sign up for Woman Fest. Oh, I love
And
that.
it's
I love
included in the bioscan bundle. So because it's
it.
a whole package, it's like, you wanna utilize all of the information. I want to be there to support you. So yes, community access is included.
Honey, we love a bundle.
We do.
Who doesn't love a bundle? Okay. Well, listen, I told you at the beginning
I
that
know.
this thing was going to go by really quickly because by the time we got started and digging and delving deeper and deeper, it was going to be time for us to bid farewell. Nikki, it has been so much fun having you on tonight. You have shared such a wealth of knowledge with us. I was looking behind you and I said, ha ha ha. I've seen that whiteboard before. If you guys ever go to Nikki's page on TikTok, you will see her teaching from that very, very whiteboard that is behind her. So I have to assume these were the things that were covered this morning. These were the
Yes.
topics. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And so everything daily is just a continuation.
Yes. Yes.
Continuation.
I'm live on TikTok every morning except for Mondays, every morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., sometime between there. Hit the notification bell and like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.
Please, please do so. You will not regret it. Oh, we're getting more comments. Higher learning TV shows that she's enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for coming to spend time with us. As well as Darwell saying, I love your show. You're
She
delightful.
is.
Oh, thank you so much. Bless you. I appreciate that. And okay. Oh, and Loso, who it was one of my internet nieces, says she seen you on TikTok. Girl, see, I told you were a celebrity. I told you, girl, you're a celebrity. Yeah, this is the first celebrity I've had on my show, and I'm so excited. Will you please come back to see us sometime?
Yes, girl. Yes, absolutely. We'll do a part 2.
We'll do a part 2 next season, perhaps. And we'll talk about a little bit more manifestation, a little bit more mindset and frequency work. This was an awesome show. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much, Stacy, for coming by to spend time with us this evening. It has been an amazing time. Guys, this was season 2, episode 8 of hashtag What Woke Looks Like, the podcast. Our special guest, Nikki Alexander, has spent so much gracious time and wisdom with us this evening. We just cannot thank her enough. Sis, it's been a pleasure. I can't wait to get my bio scan. I can't wait to work with you again. I mean, you've just been a treat. I can't thank you enough. I really can't.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here with you.
Yes, most definitely. Any last words before we close out?
There is no greater love that I have ever felt than the love that I have given to myself. That is what I mean. Make sure you're pouring in that self-love, guys.
That's it. It is so very, very, very important. You are so right. Honey, I couldn't have said it better myself. Well, without further ado, we will bid you all good night, and we will see you next Tuesday. Same bad time, honey. Same bad channel. You know your girl is going to be here. And now a closing word from our sponsor. Good night.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.